Before we start off this video, I'd like to first of all say thank you, God, for giving me the opportunity to make this video. Hey guys, how's it been? So some people told me that you guys don't like how close I am to the camera. And you guys said you like the top with like the half of the shoulder show, problem is I got a mess down here that I don't want you guys to see, Like, obviously, the more and more viewers we get and the more and more subscribers we get, the more and more money we have to invest on a better studio, right? So, it would be really nice. But, yeah, obviously, I mean, every money I make from this, I want to, be able to donate it back into investing. So, like, like the camera quality, it's really good, isn't it? That's because of you guys. The light, it's really good, isn't it? That's because of you guys. Every money we make from this, I want to be able to put back into it so that we can make better and better quality videos. And yeah, so keep watching. Up, down, up, down, up, down. So next person on our list is going to be Carly. It's been a minute since we've done Carly. Now, I am behind on a lot of these, so this video is going to have a bunch of them, okay? We're going to do a bunch for this video, and we're going to record a bunch of them back to back. So expect one of these every single morning. At least morning on my time, New York Standard Time, okay? Now, I have a whole ring light. I think it's because the camera lost focus of my eyes. All right, so we're going to be doing a bunch of these every single morning. Now, this means we're going to So yes, you're seeing me on a Monday. And on this very Monday, I'm going to record a bunch of these. They're going to upload every single morning. So make sure to stay tuned. I believe this week there is a new chapter of One Piece coming out too, right? So we'll also upload that at some point later. But yes, there you go, guys. You have a bunch of these coming out.
And I just finished the Baratier arc, and I have so many thoughts. For those of you who are also reading, this is going to be chapters 42 through 68, volumes 6 through 8. So if you don't want anything spoiled for you, I would suggest saving this and watching it later. I think this might be one of my favorite arcs so far, mostly because we've gotten introduced to so many new characters. Sanji, Don Krieg, Chef Zeph, Mihawk.
Okay, sorry, I just had to pause it real quick to say one simple thing. The background sound is overtaken from One Piece. I'm gonna get copyrighted. Like, you see, that's the downside to doing these videos. It gets copyrighted like immediately. Yeah. What I usually have been doing, right? I wait after maybe 3 or 4 days of the video being up, and then I cut out the copyrighted part. So if you're one of the people who gets to see this part, it's because it's not copyrighted, okay? If you're one of the people who get to see this part, it's because you're one of the early watchers. If you're somebody who's been watching this video after a week or so after it's been uploaded, you probably are not hearing this part. If you're one of the people who's been watching... If you are one of the people who is watching this after it's been uploaded, you probably can barely hear this part or can't hear this part at all because it's copyrighted and I muted the segment.
Hawkeye, so many new characters and so much happened in this arc. This is gonna be a long one. First of all, I absolutely love the idea of a floating restaurant in the middle of the ocean that is perfect for pirates, and this was such a fun and unique new setting added to all the places they've already been. This was my favorite one so far, probably. I really like Sanji so far. I like his relationship with Chef Zeph and the other cooks. I think
the song stopped.
They're always joking, they're always teasing each other, they always act like they don't like each other, but really they are a very tight-knit crew. A minute there I thought Chef Zeph was going to be Sanji's dad, but the backstory was even better than I had hoped for. Are you kidding me? Sorry. What? I was not prepared for the leg moment, and I absolutely ate that up. Even though Chef Zeph isn't actually his real father, he is his dad. I imagine myself eating my own leg to save someone else that I just met. Probably not. So, go Chef Zeph. My favorite fight was probably between Zoro and Hawkeye. I also love that Hawkeye respected Zoro despite him losing the fight. He respected how tenacious he was and how he persevered and never wanted to give up. And he was basically like, yeah, I'll see you again later when you're better. And I love that. Speaking of fighting, the fight between Don Krieg and Luffy was kind of unhinged, not gonna lie. That was the first time I've seen Luffy be completely unhinged and undeterred by what was going on. I will say, personally, for me, I felt like this was really long and drawn out. I enjoyed it. Some of the panels, I was getting a little bit confused as to what was happening in the image. I'm sure that was
Yeah,
done in a
that
way
happens a
to
lot.
just display how Luffy is voracious and he will literally never give up. And I did like how Chef Zeph was saying it's about grit. It's not about the weapons you have, it's about your grit. And I thought that was really relatable in life. Sometimes it's not about the equipment, but it's about your effort and your time spent honing your craft. Another character I also really liked in this one was Jin. I felt like he was really grappling with his sense of identity and he was having a hard time reconciling his hero with how he was acting. So Don Krieg is his hero, the guy he's looked up to forever, and he's acting completely unreasonable. Bad bosses exist, and sometimes your heroes let you down, especially when you hold them on a really high pedestal. When Nami sailed away and took the treasure, I was like, you know what, girl, that was consistent with her personality thus far. But again, I was like, there's got to be something else up going on with her. And then finally, when we get into chapter 8 with Arlong, the beginning of Arlong Park, and Nami is a pirate, that little sneaky stinker. But I will say there's definitely going to be more to this story, especially if that is her hometown. Then I feel like I'm predicting that she kind of got indentured into this service because she's going to pay a debt or something like that. I don't know exactly what it is, but I just know deep down she's doing it for there's a bigger and better reason behind it than her just wanting that for a fact because I love my girl Nami. There's literally so much that happens in this arc. I feel like
You all saw that too, right? That was weird, right? Let me look in the comments and see if that happened. No, I don't see anybody commenting about it. That was weird.
I keep
That was
yapping
really
about it
weird.
for 20 minutes, but I know you guys don't want to see a video that long. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. I am so curious to see what happens in Arlong Park. I am like so fully invested now. I mean, the beginning was fun, but now it's getting exciting. So I am very much looking forward to the next arc. Thank you so much for following along on my journey. And also, a lot of you have been saying that the Booktok girls are the O'Hara girlies. I have no idea what that means, but I'm very much looking
O'Hara
forward to that.
girlies.
Which
I
arc
like that.
am I going to meet them in?
O'Hara girlies.
I've been reading One Piece, and I just finished the Baratier arc, and
That's cool. That's what we call them now. O'Hara girlies. I actually kind of like that. Oh, wait till they find out what that actually means. Wait till they find out what that actually means. O'Hara girlies. Interesting. I kind of like that.
I'm gonna be king of the pirates!
Okay, so this is HayBee. I don't know who HayBee is. This is HayBee. She was recommended by one of the book talkers, and yeah, apparently HayBee is finally gonna start on One Piece.
I'm gonna be...
I am curious. Did she do a review yet? HayBee, HayBee, we need you to do a review. HayBee, what are you waiting on? Do a review.
So late!
Okay, so I gotta inform you guys on something. We have a traitor among... I'm kidding. No, we don't. Okay, listen. Sarah has decided that she is going to read Berserk, and she's been enjoying Berserk. Now, me, I know the details of Berserk. I know about Guts. I know about the betrayal. I know about what happened to his girl, all of that stuff. I know about the nitty-gritty of Berserk. I've never read it, though. The internet just spoiled me on Berserk already, so I know everything there is to know about Berserk. I know how it ends, okay? Yeah, so Sarah's been into Berserk lately. Did she just pull that out of her pants? I'm definitely gonna get copyrighted for that. If you're watching this a week from now, you don't know what just happened because it's muted.
So I am going to do a recap, but I wanted to also just do my reactions reading Orange Town. There was some bomb-ass moments in this.
Oh, by the way, this is Becky. I didn't even want to introduce her. I didn't even want to introduce her. That's how much of a rivalry Becky and I have. But yes, hi, Becky.
Zoro literally picks up that cage and like runs with it, and they escape, and then he like passes out on the ground because of blood loss, and then Nami's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And then she throws the key that she stole so that Luffy can get out of the cage, and then the dog eats the key. This is absolute cinema, you guys. Luffy's like, what's with the weird costume?
Why do I feel like she's breaking the fourth wall in case she can see what I'm wearing? By the way, if anybody is making fun of what I'm wearing, I'm banning you in the comment. I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna ban you. Don't even bother making fun of what I'm wearing, okay?
No.
That's his hair. Luffy's like, bro. Jojo's having these flashbacks of when his owner was like going to the hospital. And they're like in the little onsen, little hot tub. Oh, and he's like thinking about this stuff while he's defending the pet store from Richie. Oh my god, I'm too weak for this. He literally says, all right, Jojo, you're in charge of the shop while I'm in the hospital. Like, does he think his owner's gonna come back?
Oh.
The tears don't even have time to fall down before I'm laughing about something because homeboy like passed out when he was trying to say rubber. Buggy says, that must have been some diabolical rubbing technique. Like, he thinks he's like a masseuse. Beware the rub. What kind of rub could do that to a man?
I'm glad she's having fun.
Are y'all sure this
She
is
has
for
a contagious laughter. She has a contagious
Okay, wait,
laughter.
the mayor was a dude?
Contagious laughter.
I don't know why I thought it was a woman. Nami, she's like, have fun fighting, boys. I'm just here for the map and treasure. She's so savage. He just knocked out the mayor. And Zoro's like, good thinking. Nami's like, what the fuck? I absolutely love that Luffy and Zoro and Nami are just all like chaos. Luffy reminds me of Violet in the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Oh my god, Nami's
right,
over here. She's like, what the hell are you? Because she doesn't know like what he can do. And Zoro's like, Zoro is literally crazy. He just cut himself to give the other person a handicap. He's only 19 though.
Yeah, he does do that.
He's just a funny boy. Is this page blank because Luffy's just like watching Zoro be a fucking idiot? Why is this blank?
That's a very good question.
All right, see you. She's like, if you guys manage to live and if you get that, you know, map, then I'll join with you. And Luffy's like, wow, gee, thanks. Like, what a bargain. And she's out. She dipped out. Zoro's saying he's a pirate. Oh, that's so cute. And he's called Luffy his friend like twice now. Little bromance. Buggy just insulted Shanks. Ooh, Luffy's mad. I love this frame of just like everyone knocked the fuck out. Wait, does Luffy not know where Shanks is? He's asking where is he? Oh, he fucked up his hat. Oh, Luffy's got the black eyes. You know he's mad. And Nami's still around. Homegirl says she was leaving, but she didn't. She's nosy as shit. He just stabbed through his hat. Oh my god. And like the flashbacks. You guys, I'm really emotional. Like, shit like this makes me cry. And when I watch the anime, I'm gonna cry during this scene. I already know it. Yo, Luffy is whooping his ass. He's like, don't you talk about my daddy like that. Damn. So Buggy says that Shanks stole a great treasure from him. Let me take a note about that and come back to that later. Oh, we get a flashback. They're arguing about whether the South Pole or the North Pole is colder. Okay.
I think
All right,
the
so
South
I know
Pole
that's
is
not
colder,
what it
right?
means, but
I
when
think
it says none of you has a proper appreciation for booty. Oh, damn, Shanks is who found the devil fruit. Did Shanks switch the fruits on purpose? And then made the map fall so that way Buggy can't get it? That's cold-blooded, bro. That's cold. Nami's so immature. She's like, that's my treasure. I'm a master thief and I just stole it. Mine, mine, mine. She reminds me of my children. Nami just put all his body together. She's like, you looking for your arm?
Gosh.
You looking for your legs? I'm so sad that Luffy's hat is all torn up and he's like, that's okay. I can still wear it. Nami's like, y'all ain't human. Nami's like, yeah, don't tell them we're pirates, because they're gonna kill us. And Luffy's like, we're pirates. Luffy, you clown. Nami's like, you idiot. She's like, well, we are pirates. Like, ayo, Cho-Cho coming through. Cho-Cho's like, y'all ain't messing with my friends. The mayor being like, don't you guys talk bad about them, only I can. It's like when you hate your little brother, but like you don't let anybody else pick on him. Oh, and the mayor just thanked him and said, I won't forget it. I hope they come back. I hope that we see the mayor again one day. And it's like some Avengers moment where all these people that Luffy has helped come back and like help Luffy. Oh, I would die if that happens. Luffy left the treasure so that way they can rebuild their town. Oh my god, that's so sweet. And of course, Nami's pissed. She's like, you fucking dumbass. And off to the next arc. So I am going to do a recap, but I want...
Okay. Okay. That is one... that's one way to do this. Okay. Nice. On to the next one.
If this is just my theory,
Shanks swapping the devil fruit on purpose so that Buggy can't swim is an agenda I have not heard before. Oh yeah, because no, I don't think it's stated in the anime or in the manga that it was swapped.
I thought it was inferred
and I don't think that's an agenda
from the pages, but maybe I'm just wrong, and that's what I assumed. What if Shanks also made Luffy eat it? Because in...
You think Shanks made Luffy eat the gum fruit? You know,
the beginning in Romance Dawn,
theory.
they have that treasure chest, and Luffy eats the gum fruit from it. But what if that was on purpose? Like, what if Shanks saw potential in Luffy, and he put the chest there knowing that Luffy was going to open it and eat the gum fruit? You guys, if this is just...
Guys, they know too much. They know a little too much. You know what I'm saying? These really are the Ohara girlies. Yeah, they really know too much. The Ohara girlies know too much. All right, next up on our list is going to be Rea Reads. Now, this is the first time doing Rea Reads, so we have no idea what she's been doing up until now. Apparently, she's in Sayrit Village, so she's clearly done things like Romance Dawn. She's done, the Buggy the Clown, all of that stuff. So let's go ahead and see. She's pretty far along the book, it looks like. Yeah, this was her first
I finally
ever
finished
one.
the first arc, Romance Dawn. Let's talk about it. So just as a recap on where I'm actually up to, we've got Nami, Luffy and Zoro who have just left on 2 ships from Port Town, and little Choo Choo the dog helped them get away. My biggest complaint about a lot of books is that there's not enough dogs. So we loved that Choo Choo was there, didn't we? So there's only 21 chapters in this first arc, but despite that, There's been a lot of plot already. This is very fast paced. I am used to reading like epic fantasy, sci-fi books where you tend to have to put in a lot of groundwork before you get to the action. So this is great for me because I've been reading it mainly on like the commute to work on the subway, which is like 15 minutes, and I can give this 15 minutes of my time and get a lot of story out of it. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm still very much so in the light-hearted and fun part of this story, but I'm starting to see how the complexity is going to develop. For example, the use of the flashbacks is starting to add more layers of complexity to the characters. And that is one main point I will praise Oda on. I feel like even at this early stage, the characters are very distinct. And I'm a big character reader, so I love that. Towards the end there, I actually got stressed for the first time. Luffy was fighting Buggy, and Buggy kept separating all his body parts, and I just couldn't see how Luffy was going to win this fight. And then when he kicked him in the balls, that just made me laugh so much. But I don't actually know whether that's the last we're going to see of Buggy. I don't think Luffy killed him. Did he just knock him out? I'm not too sure. Now, I don't know if any of you have read Dungeon Crawler Carol before, but I have a feeling that, like that story, One Piece is going to develop in its complexity and emotional depth as we move through. Also, someone in my comments described Luffy as a modern day Odysseus, and wait, as a classics lover who's obsessed with Greek mythology, I am very excited by that analogy. Anyway, I've only now got this much left of my physical hard copy, so I'm going to have to pick up volumes 4, 5, 6. I've requested them from the New York Public Library, so hopefully I've got those soon. I'll probably do another update when I get to the end of the next arc. I'm not sure on the chapters for that, so I'll have to look it up on Wikipedia. But stay tuned if you're interested. I'm enjoying it, so...
That's good. Let's check this one out.
Okay, hold the pitchforks. I have got the One Piece update that you're all screaming at me for. I finally finished the Syrup Village arc, or as you all like to call it, the Syrup Village arc. I love the way that Americans say syrup. I fear this is just going to be a video of me simping over Usopp. What a well written...
Where is she from? Where's she from? I'm curious. It's cool to see another person who's not Native American or native born in America.
In character. As we enter Syrup Village and we're introduced to Usopp, he has this boy who cried wolf storyline. He's like the village clown. But as the story went on, I just loved to watch Oda pull back the layers and show us who Usopp is at his core, which is a selfless hero. Every day he ran to the village and told them that the pirates were coming, but he was acting as the little alarm clock for the villagers every day. And then he went along and told Kaya a bunch of made up stories just to make her feel better about herself while she was lying on her sick bed. Then he adopted this big brother role with Carrot, Pepper and Onion and just let their imaginations roam wild. And everyone just gave him such unnecessary hate. And in the end, he saved the whole village and he didn't want anyone to know about it, which was just reflective of his own character throughout. Always okay being made out to be the bad guy, even though all along everything that he did was to benefit someone else. And the origin story about him running into the village to say the pirates are coming, the fact that that started when his mum was on her sickbed and he just wanted to give his mum hope that his dad was going to come back for them. I laughed so much during this arc, especially at the cat humour with the black cat pirates. They were catapulting and it was a catastrophe. What I love about One Piece is just the mix of this absurd humour with these really kind of tender storylines. I did not expect to be deep in a comic book like this, but I absolutely loved this arc. Hope this isn't the last we see of Kaya or Carrot, Onion and Pepper. And also, what about Gaiman? Am I saying that right? From the island, the guy that was in the box? Surely he's going to come back into it. Also guys, I have been paying attention to the storyboards that you all told me to look at in between the chapters. Buggy is somewhere with a really big duck, a large duck. I don't really know what's going on there. A little bit concerned for Buggy, but at least I know he's probably not dead. So little Miss Kaya has just given them a big ass boat and they're headed back out to sea for another adventure, and we now have Usopp on board. Give me a week guys and I'll give you an update on the next arc. Okay.
It's been a week at least at the time of recording this, right? And we don't have an update yet. Rea Reads. Rea, I'm expecting an update from you. Rea, I'm expecting an update from you. Come on, give it to us.
Hey friends, so it is cold today. It is 30 degrees and I'm in the south, so that's cold. I have some goals.
I'm in the south too.
About to start the Little Garden arc in One Piece. I think I could finish that today. I have about 250 pages left in Alchemized. Could potentially finish that today. And then I'm also playing the new Pokemon ZA,
yeah. So guys, I also have Pokemon Legends ZA. I actually did a 43-hour stream. Okay, that was way before the One Piece stuff, and that was like 2 days before the One Piece stuff actually. And yeah, that video is still up there on it's one of the live streams. Yes. Tell me if you guys want me to do Pokemon Legends ZA content. There are some content on there that I want to do, like the new DLC and stuff. So tell me if you guys are looking forward to it. I definitely want to do live streams. Other than the interviews, right? Live streams other than the interviews. So a lot of the live streams I want to do, obviously, is going to be the chapter reviews, right? We're going to do those live. And then, of course, the other live streams I would love to do with you guys, like games and stuff. I would love to play games and stuff. There's a lot of, also, like, reacting to maybe current events. Maybe if there's a new meme or trend out there, we react to it. But yes, I would love to, like, react to play games with you guys.
Games. So spend this Monday morning with me.
I thought that was a donut. Oh, I'm so fat. Oh my gosh, I am so fat. I thought that was a donut. Oh my gosh, wow. I should go get something to eat. Dory and Broggy, nice. I'm gonna stare at you guys as we're watching her read.
I love these guys. This will never get old. Never.
No, it doesn't get old. Well, while she's reading.
Okay. I'm gonna take a little break from One Piece and read Alchemized for a little bit.
I have a theory that this is her secretly trying to advertise Alchemized. I see what you're doing there, Jess. Yo ain't slick. What? Why did I get darker? So did she do a review or like...
And I forgot to update you guys when I finished this morning. So I am almost done the little garden arc. I'm just gonna finish that right now. It's nighttime now, by the way. I only read like 2 chapters of Alchemized. I got distracted.
By what?
And I did not play the Pokemon game.
Oh!
So I didn't meet any of my leisure goals, but I'm gonna finish this arc tonight. And the night is still young.
No, it's not. No,
hey, friends.
No, it's not. Thank you, Jess. That was really amazing. We really enjoyed that, Jess.
Another day, another
Red-haired Maury.
day, another sleigh. Now,
Red-haired Maury. She's on Skypea. Or at least at the time of you guys watching this video, okay? By the time I upload it, she's probably already gonna be way done. She's probably gonna be an egghead. Anyways, let's go ahead and get right to it. Let's see what she's been doing. So as you all know, guys, another day, another sleigh.
another day, another sleigh. I finally finished the Skypea arc of One Piece, and I am so excited to tell you everything that I thought about it. So let's go. Off. Will I ever stop crying over animals in this? I don't think so. So far, I'm not doing too great. Right at the beginning, Skypea feels like it's going to be a fun adventure in this Sky Island, and yet it's Oda, so obviously there's always going to be a deeper theme in it. And that was true again in this one. It was an exploration of colonialism, immigration, abuse of power, and faith, and also kind of the abuse of faith's power. Right off rip, when we get to Skypea, everything feels really, really off, from the way that there was an entry fee, but they were still let through, and then they were immediately reported, to the way that Konis and Pagaya were so kind, but then everyone else was like, you are a trespasser, you shouldn't be here, there's all these crimes you have committed now, so there's all these rules that really don't make a lot of sense, and there is this insane punishment for just being where you quote-unquote don't belong. And really, if that's not commentary on like worldwide immigration systems, I really don't know what it is, because that whole entry fee system, to me, is very, very similar to how the current immigration process is in the United States, which is, it's not easy, and it's also extremely expensive, and we know what's going on. Then we meet Eneru, this god who claims, you know, divinity and is preying on the...
I'm realizing that she said Eneru. Because, yeah, it's because of the translation. It's not, yeah, she says Eneru instead of... It's going to get a while for me to get used to that instead of saying Enel. Anyways, let's keep reading.
Sky people's faith in the kami, even though he really is just a devil fruit eater who is ruling people by fear and abuse of his power and violence. He's a perfect symbol of turning faith into a weapon, because I feel like we got the sense that everyone that is a citizen knows that he is not a good person, but they can't really do anything about it, or they feel like they can't. We see it from the military powers where, you know, when they were escaping, they said that majority of the times they really just did what they could so that no one would incur his wrath. And that really just shows us how these leaders are in this world. It's like no one is a good leader whatsoever. Then we get the Shandians, the so-called villains of the Sky People, the secondary villains of the story. And then we figure out that really they are just displaced people who had been fighting for their homeland. The whole story of Upper Yard made me really, really upset, because, you know, it's this island that was ripped up from where they originally were, you know, shot up to a place that they were not comfortable with, and then immediately they were attacked for their land's resources and driven out. And that was so just fucking depressing to see, and another injustice that we see Luffy essentially try to right in his own way, even though he wasn't even trying to do that. Now, what made this arc like really, really pack an emotional punch to me was the backstory of Nolan and Kagura, because they were two leaders who found a common ground with their friendship. Essentially, they both had an understanding of what the other needed, and it was so beautiful to see that blossom, and then also really depressing to see it break apart essentially by nature. And then them not ever reuniting was really, really sad. And Nolan's demise was also just fucking depressing, because I truly feel like if Nolan had had the time, if he had not been executed, he would have found Upper Yard. He would have found Skypiea. He seemed like such a fucking smart character who was constantly on the lookout for new things to learn, so I really do think he would have been able to do it. Their story was such a great reflection of how easy it is to lose history because of so many reasons, and this one I would say it's because of an inept ruler who only cared about conquering gold and getting richer for himself. Here's Nolan's tale, and all he cares about is the fact that there was gold at this place, and honestly I do question a little bit what Nolan's goal was in going back there with, you know, this king who just wanted to conquer Shandora's gold. You know, I wonder what would have happened if Upper Yard hadn't been ripped up and sent to Skypiea, but we'll never know. Robin's discovery of the bell made me really, really happy for her as a character, because now I feel like she really has a goal to reach. Obviously, you know, we saw at the beginning of this arc that she didn't want to live anymore, and she was just essentially there for the ride, and to see that goal placed back and to see how excited she looked about that coming back to her, it was just wonderful. And now she's got a place in Luffy's crew because of it. And then Luffy's resolve to ring the bell for Cricket was beautiful. Like, truly, Luffy continues to do things for anyone that comes into his life. You know, if he can make someone happy, he's going to do so, and he just continues to surprise me in the best ways possible. I saw a lot of discourse surrounding this specific arc, with people thinking that it was slow and not the best arc, and I just really can't agree with that, because I felt like this arc gave us, one, so much understanding of the world. Again, you know, obviously Jaya was a huge island before, and then it was split apart, and that gave us more understanding into another insane part of the Grand Line, and we got to learn more about the poneglyphs, and I really do think that these poneglyphs are going to get us all the way to the Grand Line. I feel like these are going to play a big part in the story. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe that's completely off base, but so far they've shown up twice in the last two big arcs, so I can't imagine that it's not an important plot point. Like, to see that Roger's name was in that was so cool, and to just again have someone else say that Luffy like carries the same will as Roger is just like, yeah, it gets me so excited for what's to come. So I mean, it makes sense that this is how we're getting there, because from what I've experienced is Oda really just likes to leave breadcrumbs for us to pick at. It's very much like, here, theorize and figure out something, but also I'm not going to give you the answer because that would defeat the point of my storytelling. You know what I mean? So yeah, all that to say, I had a really good time reading this one. I loved the world building. I love all of the characters that we met. I thought the world of Skypiea was beautiful. It was so cool to learn, how everything worked and how they lived up there. And yeah, so I am going to move on to the next one. And also, I do have to say, I love the cover story of this one. Of course, it was Ace. My man, I love him. I'm going to for sure watch the episodes where it covers that cover story. Him still looking for Blackbeard. And yeah, I'm gonna move on to the next one. I'm sorry for taking so long getting this video out. Sometimes life gets in the way and I can't read as fast as I want to, so maybe you'll get an update tomorrow, maybe it'll be in a couple days. I don't know. Okay, bye.
That's
Another
good.
day, another
Thank
slay.
you, red-haired Maury. That was very good. I'm glad to see somebody enjoy Skypiea in a way that most people don't. A lot of people tend to say it's slow. I don't believe it is. I think you just have to be the type of reader. And what I find very interesting is that each arc in One Piece is handled differently. They tend to be almost like their own separate genre, Skypiea, it's more of the fantasy/journey and not necessarily action, right? And then you have things like Marineford, which is a war arc, it's like different things for different type of people. You have Wano, which is handled like a play, right? Different arcs for different types of people. And I love how Aura is just why did I say Aura? Obviously Oda, but Goda, right? I love I Oda is just really good at writing different types of stories.
I'm going to be starting my One Piece journey, and I am so
This
excited
is
about
Viv.
this. This is not
somebody we haven't done before. Hello, Viv. So she's done a couple of One Piece videos. We're going to try to look through all of them, and it looks like she's also reading Berserk as well. So One Piece and Berserk. Okay, all right. Hello, Viv. Nice to meet you. Welcome to the video series. Let's go ahead and check you out.
first manga by any means, but I hope I can still be welcomed into the crew. I've never really talked about my manga that much on here because I really thought nobody would be interested in it, but I feel like there's a huge online community for One Piece, and I think that is awesome, and I love talking to other people about manga if they've read it. Carla has really encouraged me to talk about this online, so I'm excited to do that, and I know she has got so many people to start this series, and I think that's really cool. I've already finished the first 2 volumes, and honestly I really enjoyed them. I had a really fun time with them. I'll probably make a separate video though once I'm done the 3rd volume. I did have a few questions though before I get further on. I have heard that there are like secrets in this story, or maybe they're like Easter eggs. I'm not positive. I didn't look too much into it, but I would love to know more about that if anybody knows. I don't know if I'll be able to fully figure that out on my own if I don't get some hints about it. Or maybe
real
I'm just...
quick, Viv, I don't know if you're gonna watch this. I hope you watch this because I'm gonna send this to you. So a lot of the a lot of the Easter eggs and stuff are not like, most of them are for other arcs, you know? So like a few arcs from now, a few chapters from now, you will come back and say, oh wow, I remember this that happened during Romance Dawn or during chapter 1 or, you know, the early chapters. So it's more like that, you know, it's a retrospect, it's a hindsight type of Easter egg. So I wouldn't like bother yourself too much with it, whether or not you're gonna miss it or not. They all kind of reveal themselves. It's pretty self-explanatory, you know, but yeah.
Making this up and I read something wrong on the internet. I'd also love to watch the anime at the same time. If anybody has any guidance on that, I'm not sure if I should just watch it straight through or if I should skip the filler episodes, or if anybody has any recommendations. And yeah, I'm really excited about continuing this. It's going to be the longest manga I've read,
longest
and
book
I'll probably
too.
have an update video soon.
I am very well aware that it
my
will be the longest book any of the Ohara girlies I've ever read. Yes, you Booktok girlies, this will be the longest book you've ever read. So far. Yes. Because I don't know any of the books that you guys are reading that is 1,000 chapters long. Okay? I don't know any books that's 1,000 chapters long. Comment down below if there is any books. But yeah, no, this will be the longest book you've read so far.
I finished the Romance Dawn arc, and let's discuss this because I feel like this was an excellent start to this and exactly what I needed. I'm all here for a pirate story in general, so I did have a feeling that I was going to enjoy this. We're introduced to Luffy, who is so determined to become a pirate and honestly a bit angry. I do find him to be a little bit naive, but he's young, and I'm sure this will get him into some trouble in the future. I actually don't know how old he is in here. I don't know if it's stated, if somebody can tell me. I also love how unique this story felt, especially in the beginning with the devil fruit and Luffy eating this gum fruit when all he wanted to do was eat some dessert, which I thought was really funny. But I've never seen something like this when a character's body just turns to rubber. But also with the fruit, where are the fruit actually coming from? And are more people eating these? I feel like we'll probably find out in the future volumes. But I feel like more people have to accidentally be eating these. Of course, that comes with a downfall of him not being able to swim, which is what he really wanted to, and that's kind of scary as a pirate. And then we're introduced to Shanks, who I feel like I loved. There was one scene in here in particular where he said nobody hurts a friend while talking about Luffy, and I really love that panel. It pulled up my heart a little bit, and then he gave him his straw hat. I'll be so interested in where they're going to meet in the future. So far, I've actually found this to be so funny. There's been lots of moments where I'm actually cracking up out loud, and when he finally gets to leave the island and he's just like rowing off in this tiny ship. HayBee was also a big part of this story. I loved all of their interactions. I really thought he was going to be joining the crew, but I honestly love that Luffy kind of gave him the hope to just join the Navy, which is what he really wanted to do in the beginning. However, I don't know if we're actually going to love that in the future since the Navy is on opposing sides as Luffy. Now that I'm talking about this out loud, I feel like so much actually happened because we also meet Zolo, which I know a lot of people say Zoro, but I'm kind of confused by that. I understand it's the translation. However, if I'm reading the manga, do I say Zolo or Zoro?
It fixes itself
but
later
Zolo,
on.
I really liked him. He seemed really cool. I'm happy he gets to join the crew as well, and he better become the greatest swordsman. This overall just felt fresh and unique compared to what I've been reading lately, and most of all, fun, which is a good thing to be having while reading, and I can't wait to continue.
Let's go ahead and watch the next video. I think it's this one. Yeah.
The introduction of Nami in the Orangetown arc was epic. Let's discuss this arc. I just finished it. Nami stealing the pirate ship was everything to me. I love a smart woman, and I hope we get to see more of them as main characters alongside Luffy. I'm really interested to see more of Nami's background and why she is the way she is, because she hates pirates. It's alluded that part of her family was killed by them, but I think there could be more here. There was a panel in here where she said she hates pirates, but she loves money and tangerines, and I thought that was hilarious and relatable. Her interactions with Luffy were also great. I think she was getting sick of him a little bit and on her nerves, which I think is relatable. I think Luffy would probably bother me in person as well. We also get introduced to Buggy, which I have mixed feelings about. I feel like maybe overall he means well, but he's a bit goofy. I'm not quite sure yet. What got me is that Buggy knew Shanks. They were on the same crew together, and that's where Buggy accidentally ate a devil fruit. This seems like a classic move with this fruit. Also, Buggy knifed Luffy's hat. Like, how dare he do that? I also feel like something is going on with Zolo, because why was he healing kind of fast? And then Shushual, you're telling me that this dog has just been waiting for his owner this entire time, and then the store burns down? My actual heart. Also getting to know Luffy a lot more as a character. I'm enjoying him. He's goofy, but I know he has a good heart. I love the enthusiasm and determination that he has with everything, especially with getting Nami to be part of his crew. He just has so much hope, and I think he's actually intelligent. It also seems like everybody in this series has something of importance to them, and I love that. Loving all the found family that is happening is one of my favorite things in books. If you have anything to add to this discussion, I would love to know, but I'll be back for the syrup knowledge arc next.
And I believe that is all the update we have so far. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest, Viv. Keep reading, and we'll see you on the journey to One Piece. Why are you reading that silly pirate story? That's for kids. This is another Becky video, by the way.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Nice. I can tell you're Japanese by that thing you got on your head. I'm sorry. Is that racist?
That's gotta be racist. There's no way.
Things I absolutely love while reading the Syrup Village arc of One Piece, okay? Gaimon's 20-year wait for nothing proves that greed traps us more than anything ever could. Damn, that's deep. Fuck. Fuck, that's deep. Okay. The truth behind Usopp's lies. Yeah. What can you do? I steal, I stretch, I cut. Yeah. You guys are willing to fight beside me? Why? You look pretty scared. Damn, man, she hitting me in the feels. Zoro took the blow by Usopp head on, knowing the Meowben brothers would have aimed for Usopp if the blow reached them. Oh, okay. Okay, interesting. In that lie was his strongest desire. Yeah. Yeah. Usopp didn't lie this time, but he let them think he did, because protecting the village's heart mattered more than proving himself right. Damn. The way the crew welcomed Usopp without hesitation, like he had always belonged. Ah! Rodz, we gotta see more One Piece reviews from you. We gotta see more of them. Rodz, wait, there is more. There is more, actually. Let me see, is this One Piece? This is not One Piece. And this is One Piece. Why the Baratier arc of One Piece stole my heart. Now, the background music might like get copyrighted, so I'm not gonna like put the background music, okay? Because it might get copyrighted, right? So let's go ahead and read. Luffy trying to make a deal to pay for the roof he broke. An honorable pirate through and through. Okay. Alright. Sanji couldn't stand watching someone starve, so he chose kindness. Aww. Zeph fed his enemies, knowing it could destroy him. Yeah. Zoro refusing to back down, even when he's outmatched, and Luffy standing guard, honoring his friend's pride. The truth behind Zeph's losing his leg. Yeah, I was sobbing. These foster parents, man. Aww. Sanji carrying on his mentor's fighting style, his legacy's lives through every kick. His legacy lives through every kick. Bro, guys, I promise I'm not illiterate, okay? I know how to read, okay? Listen. Stop, shut up.
I just finished the Barati arc of One Piece and wow, this one hit differently. This is the arc where we meet Sanji, the Straw Hat's cook, and honestly, I feel like I've seen every side of him in just one story. The way he yells at other chefs.
I'm just really glad a lot of people are liking Sanji. Now, look, I know Zoro has more quote-unquote badass moments than Sanji. Sanji is my favorite Straw Hat. He's just amazing, okay? So, like, I really wish he would have more, like, moments, you know? But nah, I really like Zoro too. I really like Zoro, but I'm more of a Sanji. The Sanji agenda lives on, I guess, huh?
Someone wastes food, and the pure childlike excitement when he talks about finding the all blue. It all feels so real, so human, and you can tell why he's such a beloved character. This arc is also massive for the world building. We finally get a full picture of the four seas, and we get a glimpse of how terrifying the Grand Line really is. We see how far Zoro has to go to become the greatest swordsman, and even Luffy faces a fight where he actually might lose. For the first time, the Devil Fruit's powers don't feel like a magic fix. They are powerful, but they are not invincible. The fights are incredible. Sanji's kicks are beautiful, and he refuses to use his hand, protecting one thing that makes him himself, which is cooking. And Zoro's sword fight, absolutely perfection. But what really hits me in the heart is Zeph and Sanji. The mentorship, the found family vibes. It's everything that Oda does so well with the Straw Hats. Zeph pushes Sanji to follow his dream and joins Luffy's crew. By the end, the arc sets up so much. Nami's absence, our long park story, the Grand Line. It's funny, action-packed, emotional, and somehow it all feels perfectly balanced. This isn't just another fight arc, it's the arc that makes you fall in love with the crew. Honestly, if you read it, you know, and if you haven't, you're missing a masterpiece.
This is beautiful. This is beautiful. I'm really proud of you, Roz. This is amazing. I'm gonna repost this actually. This is truly beautiful. Okay, this is Cheddars. We're back again with Cheddars. Where's Cheddars at? She is at Drum Island. Dang, Cheddars, you just be reading. Sheesh. All right, Cheddars is at Drum Island, guys. Let's go ahead and see what she's been doing.
Drinking our tears instead of coffee every morning, because what was this? You guys said it was gonna be rough, and I was like, I'm prepared. I'm prepared. If I know it's coming, it's not gonna hit me that hard. No. Tissues were on standby, they were needed. This was
I like your
absolutely
makeup.
devastating. I finished Drum Island. You know the drill. If you haven't read it, keep scrolling. I did film my reaction directly after reading the flashback, so I will put that in at the end for you. This was just, I loved this arc. It was so sad, but it was so good. I feel like this was very much on par with Arlong Park. I mean, the past couple arcs were fun, don't get me wrong, but I feel like this truly had the same kind of emotional impact and character growth that Arlong Park had.
So like one thing I
And
noticed is that a lot of these book talk girlies or Ohara girlies haven't really mentioned how the human fruit was eaten by Chopper. I haven't heard nobody mention that. No, like why is nobody saying that there's a human fruit? Like, hello? Like, I feel like that's a huge thing. Because up until now, we've seen two different types of devil fruit, right? Up until now, we've seen things like, we saw the gum fruit. It's a paramecia. I don't think they mentioned that it's a paramecia, right? We saw a gum fruit, and we saw, so it's like based on like abnormalities, like stretching, like cut. So up until now, we saw things, like I said, the gum fruit, it's based on abnormalities like stretching and like cutting and stuff. And then we see Smoker, who comes in there with a different type of fruit, by the way, based on elements. And then we see Ace, who has also another fruit based on elements. Like, we're seeing different types of things. And then we see Crocodile based on the sand. Like, we're seeing different type of fruit users. And then out of nowhere, we see one that's not based on the elements or a abnormality. We see one that's based on a species? Human? And no one thinks that's weird. I haven't heard nobody say anything. But then again, let's wait. The other Ohara girlies haven't caught up yet to Drum Island. So let's just wait and see what happens. But I just found that very interesting that nobody's mentioned that yet.
get our newest crew member, the adorable and precious Chopper. I love him. I don't know how anybody could not love him. His backstory was so sad. Oh my gosh, his relationship with the doctor and how he wants to become a doctor because he admires him and he wants to help the town, and he finds out the doctor is sick, so he goes out and hunts down this mushroom. I was like already emotional when I think it's what his name, Dr. Hirluke, hugged him and said that of course he could become a doctor because Chopper has a great heart. And then he leaves and you're like, oh, you know, Chopper's happy and you're all smiles. Then you find out the mushroom is poisoned. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Listen, it's really a testament to Oda's writing that he's able to create such an emotional, intense response from these chapters that are like 20 pages long. I mean, we just met Dr. Hirluke and you're already so attached to him and Chopper's relationship and the roles they have. To find out that Chopper gave him a mushroom that he thought was going to heal him because it had the skull and crossbones like his pirate flag. Oh my gosh. So you're already gut punched. And then he goes and drinks some explosive liquid so that Chopper doesn't have to live with the fact that he ended his friend by giving him poisoned mushroom. I needed to catch my breath. I was going to post a review yesterday and I had to just pause and I had to put it down for a minute after I finished the flashback because I thought I was going to be prepared. I was not. I really want to stop and highlight Luffy, and I feel like Luffy had such a great highlight and growth moment here as a captain. And I feel like it was very similar to Arlong Park in the way that he handled Nami and freeing her from Arlong. It's the same when she's sick. He wants to carry her up to this mountain because he cares, but he's never really been sick. He doesn't really get this, but he starts to understand as he's climbing the mountain that Nami is very sick and he can't jostle her around a lot. His friends aren't made of rubber. They don't have the same kind of power that he does. And I feel like he really grasps onto this and learns it here. Same with Sanji, you know, trying to protect Luffy and Nami, and he breaks his back in the avalanche, and then Luffy carries them both up the mountain, which is 90 degrees, by the way. 90 degrees for hours. He's carrying Sanji in his teeth, and when he gets to the top, he just wants his friends to get help. He's freezing cold, his fingers are bleeding, he doesn't care. He's just like, please help my friends. It was such a sweet moment, and I feel like it was such a good moment for him as a captain to just care about his crew and his nakama. And the battle with Wapol was so great. Luffy was ticked. He was ticked. He didn't even know everything about what this guy did. And again, he's got this just intrinsic knowing about people's character. Obviously, this guy was no good, but he didn't even need to hear all the awful details to know that this guy had to go.
Kitty!
So I really, really enjoyed his battle. I'm very excited to watch it in the anime. The way that he was able to bond to Chopper, by also kind of saying that he's a monster and he's someone different, it was just such a wholesome way to end the arc and for Chopper to be accepted. And Luffy just thinks he's so cool. He's got all these cool abilities, and it was just such a good arc. I really loved it. I really, really loved Dalton's character as well. I really thought it was cool to kind of see his thought process from previous events and really just thank Chopper in the end. So Drum Island is free. They've got a doctor. I'm so relieved. So hopefully, for any other emergencies, we can just use our adorable new little crewmate and Dr. Chopper. I'm so excited to see Chopper's interactions with the crew and what new adventures they're going to go on. So Alabasta is next. I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm nervous. Everyone's saying that Alabasta is really, really good. So I'm excited to keep reading, but Drum Island was just fantastic. With that being said, thank you for watching the next update. Here is the reaction of me after reading Chopper's flashback, and I will catch you for the next update.
She's pretty.
I just read Chopper's flashback. I'm not okay. One Piece it's so fun. You should pick it up and read it. Oh my gosh, I'm never recovering from this. I'm convinced that...
That's beautiful. All right, Cheddar, you're amazing. We really appreciate you so much, and thank you so much for telling us about your journey, Cheddar. None of this would be possible without you. Again, guys, I just want to go ahead and say thank you guys so much for watching this video. You guys are still here watching this series. I really appreciate you guys. You guys truly make this possible and worth it. Thank you guys so much. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share this video with your family and friends, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Stay classy. Oh, before I forget, thank you God for giving me the ability and the opportunity to make this video.